Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy New Year, and welcome back to Yoga for Wellness. If this is your first time here, I welcome you. And I'm grateful to get to share this practice again after having off last weekend from being sick. I thank you all for your patience, and I hope you all had a great holiday season and the turn of the new year. So, this is brought to you in partnership with Wilkes Recovery Revolution and Yoga with George Ethan. My name is George, and this is my best buddy Bentley, who will also be joining us through our practices. And you can catch us every Saturday morning virtually at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have any questions, suggestions, or just want to say hello, make sure you comment on the video below. And otherwise, just sit back and enjoy the video. You can follow along or simply observe, or you can just, I will make sure that everyone has options from every level from beginner to more advanced. Mat is recommended, or at least an open space to move around freely in. Make sure you're wearing something comfortable. A block is recommended, but not required. I'll make sure I provide options for all parties. And if you want to have something similar, I recommend some form of book. With that being said, again, I thank you all for joining in today. Thank you so much. And we're going to have an awesome practice that gives you a great incorporation of deep stretching as well as a good flow. This will utilize the breath, help calm the nerves, and just kind of make you feel good. So let's go ahead and begin in a nice, comfortable seat of your choice. I'm sitting with my cross-legged seat. Take your time getting here. And in this spirit of the new year, let's take a step back, all the way back. We're going back to basics today. Just observe the journey. This isn't about going from pose to pose. This is more about just observing how your body feels, noticing how you feel, how the breath is going, how your heart rate's going. Just try to take the position of observer during our classes. Take a second to notice what parts of the body meet the floor. Just begin to settle in. We're going to go nice and slow to start. We're going to begin having our hands on our knees or on a furry friend nearby. Take a breath in. Let's go together now. And exhale. Relax those shoulders. Take another breath in all together through the nose. And exhale. Let's see if we can experiment with elongating our breath. Breathe in. Think nice and tall in the spine. Reach through the crown of the head down to the base of the spine here. Hold and exhale. All right. Allow your hands to gently float to meet in the center of the heart space. To allow your thumbs to go to your sternum. Allow your heart and sternum to rise up to meet the thumbs. Inhale in. Exhale, gently draw your chin towards your chest in a reverent bow. Stay here for a couple of breaths. Invitation to either soften your gaze or close your eyes if you're comfortable. And breathe deep. And notice the stretch in the back of the neck as you breathe. Taking a moment to acknowledge an intention for today's practice, to thank yourself for showing up to your mats today. That's the hardest part. To show gratitude for being present in this moment. It's a good opportunity to put aside your to-do list, to set aside any expectations for yourself. Again, let's observe ourselves and how we move today. Take 1 or 2 deep breaths here. Last one, deep breath in. Long, smooth breath out through the nose. All right, allow your hands to fall at the sides. We're going to start moving. So to begin, we're going to practice some elongating at our sides. To do so, and we're also getting a good wrist stretch. With your hands together, interlace the hands, and then press your palms away from the body. You may notice some pops here. Inhale, reach the palms up towards the sky, lifting the heart center, thinking nice and long in the trunk of the body. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, grounding down with the tailbone, go over to your left, palms away. Keep pressing away from the body with the palms. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, up and over to the right, keeping both glutes nice and glued down. Inhale, pull those pinkies back. Heart remains lifted. Try to avoid caving in with the spine. And exhale, back to center. And release gently. Allow your fingertips to rain down to the sides. Fingertips float down to land on the mat to your sides. Flip the right palm, inhale up and over to the left for a nice side body stretch. Pulling the thumb back and the elbow back. Exhale, rain the right fingertips down. Inhale up and over from the left side now. Pulling the left thumb and left elbow back. And exhale, rain the fingertips down. Beautiful. We'll take this opportunity now to move onto all fours, tabletop position. Take your time getting here. Keep the notion of how you move matters. You can take as much time as you need and set yourself up with a meticulous love, placing your wrists directly underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. We'll do a bit of cat and cow here. Inhale, dropping our bellies, looking forward, tailbone reaches towards the sky. Exhale, round it through. Navel draws in and up, chin to chest. Now use your breath. Inhale to cow pose and exhale to cat pose. Use your breath to transition from A to B at your own pace. Engage the core as you go into cat pose here. Maybe if you want to venture off the railroad tracks and bump your hips one side and another. Maybe you take a look or a peek over to the left side and then the right. On your next cow pose, hold this here for a couple of breaths. Just notice the sensations. Keeping your core engaged here. On your next exhale, we're going to transition back into cat pose, and we're going to hold this for a few breaths. Clawing into those fingertips and the knuckles, pressing away from the mat. Creating space in our body for fresh air. All right, back to neutral. From here, we're going to press firmly into our fingers here, and we're going to gently lift up on the knees or allowing them to hover. You're going to feel a little shakiness, and you're going to engage the core and breathe through it. We got this. You're doing wonderfully. You got this for 3, 2, 1, and release. Take those palms now and walk them forward just a bit to allow your heart to melt down. Your tailbone reaches up. Breathe in, look forward. Exhale, allow your forehead to reach towards the mat. Puppy posture for a nice heart opening here. Breathe air for just a few moments. I love using the breath to kind of melt into these postures. It might not seem as easy to begin with, but by using your tool of breathing, you can do a lot more than you think you could. When your mind begins to wander, and this is a great tip that I've learned through my practices, return to the breath. Try to keep it nice and smooth and long, and let it carry you from pose to pose. On your next inhale, use your nose to guide you forward onto your bellies, and we will meet in Sphinx pose, elbows directly underneath the shoulders, pressing your pelvic bone into the mat as well as the tops of the feet. Gentle, very minuscule draw to the chin towards the chest. It doesn't have to be big. Just enough so you can feel a slight opening in the back of the neck. Breathe here. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your hands underneath the shoulders. Allow your head to your forehead to kiss the mat, and press back up to all fours. Now, we're going to bring our knees as wide as the yoga mat. We're going to start with our right side. So place your left hand in the center of the mat. We're going to bring our right palm at the small of our back and pull our elbows back, our shoulders back. Allow our heart to rotate towards our right side. Look up for a nice revolution outward. Breathe here. One more big breath in. Exhale out. Use your right hand to go under this bridge of the left arm that we've created, and allow your shoulder and right ear to rest on the mat. Your left palm can stay at the center, or if you wish, you can draw your left palm up to this top short edge of your mat. Breathe to create space in the right side of the neck. If you're not used to these postures, here's where I say utilize the breath. Take a step back, bring your palm back to center and use that palm to support you. So it doesn't feel like you're putting all your pressure on your head and neck. All right, let's switch. Press your left palm firmly back into the center of the mat like before. This time we're going to raise our right hand all the way up. Then exhale, let your palm rain down nice and gently to swap places with your left palm. Switching sides, we're going to bring our left palm to the small of our back, and we're going to open up, rotating our heart outward and lifting our gaze up towards the top of this roof here. Raise to the roof. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. And on your exhale, we're going to take and thread this needle in through here on the opposite side. Allow your ear to rest onto the mat as well as your left shoulder. Allowing your right hand to glide all the way up to the top of the mat. Breathe. Find release with each exhale. And then glide your hand back to center, if not so already. Press firmly into the right hand. And inhale, lift your hand all the way up. Wiggle the fingers. Wave to mom. Hi, mom. And then float the fingertips down. All right, we're going to move back to all fours. We're going to engage the core. We're going to slide our right foot up, like so. Peek if you need to. And then draw the knee in towards the center of the chest, and then place your right foot to the mat, up top of the mat. You can use your right hand to guide your foot if necessary. For our first low lunge of the practice today. So think nice and light on the fingertips. Press firmly into all four corners of the front foot. Pressing into the top of the back foot. I'm giving you a little checklist here that can help bring your mindset to how we want to position our bodies for its safety. Keep your heart lifted here. Gaze forward. Relax the shoulders. Nice and light on the fingertips. You want to press firmly into that front foot. All four corners, meaning below the big toe, below the pinky toe, and directly underneath the two ankles. Now you can stay here if you want. If you want a little more, we can slide our hands forward, up and back, lifting our heart space into a crescent lunge. Invitation to bring your gaze upward or keep it forward. Engage the core and just imagine the strengthening of your pelvic floor. Now you might not feel it, but that doesn't mean you can't imagine it. Lifting up from the pelvic floor. And if your hands are up, exhale and rain it down. Plant your left palm to the left of your right foot. We're going to glide our right hands up into the sky for a twist. Inhale. And exhale, rain it down. Pull back at the right hip crease and straighten the right leg. Now it does not need to be completely straight. It can have a little micro bend for its protection. Just focus your toes towards your face here. Breathe for a bit of a runner's lunge. And then take your time, notice the journey, roll through that front heel nice and slowly. From here, we can bring our right foot back. We're going to lower from our knees all the way down to our bellies. Allow your forehead to kiss the mat. Slide your hands towards your ribs at the side. Squeeze your elbows in together. Inhale, look up, cobra. Exhale, release. Option to press up to push up or press up to half push up, which is from on your knees. We'll meet in all fours. Option here to do a cat and cow if you wish to reset. If not, go ahead and slide that left foot up this time. Squeeze that left glute. Keep those cores engaged. And then exhale, draw the knee in towards the nose. Look forward and plant your left foot in between the palms. Get yourself squared away here. If you want a little more, you can slide that back knee back just a hair. Remain light on the fingertips. If you want to use your block or blocks or books, you may, to kind of give you a little extra on your hands. Option here to float the hands up. Inhale, swoop the hands forward, up and back, nice and gracefully. Squeeze the legs into an imaginary line here to support you. Lift from the pelvic floor, engage the core, lift the heart space, gaze up in between the palms, and then float the palms down. Exhale. Find your twist here. Plant the right palm this time. Inhale, lift the left hand up high. Wave again if you want to. And then exhale, float it down. Now pull it back at your left hip crease. Straighten that left leg for your runner's lunge. Draw those toes to reach towards your forehead or third eye, which have you. Breathe here. Now you don't have to place your head on your leg here or anything like that. Just whatever floats your boat in today's practice. We are all in different positions. Now I will note, if this is uncomfortable for your knees, you are welcome to either roll up your mat a bit to give you some padding, or you can get a blanket to place underneath your knees here if you have sensitive knees. Walk your foot back forward and place your hands on your palm. Place your palms down. Curl the back toe under to lift that back knee. And then step that back foot to meet the front. And we will all meet in forward fold. Generous bend at the knees here. Allow your belly to lay over top of your thighs. Maybe shake your head loose gently, saying yes, little no. A little back and forth. So you can remove all that tension, let it melt away. Breathe. Maybe you take your elbows and grasp each opposite palm and sway gently side to side. Breathe into the shoulders and release the palms. Exhale. All right. Inhale. We're going to halfway lift, slowly roll it up. Squeeze those shoulder blades in together. Find length in the spine. Nice long neck. And exhale, fold. Now, with an almost excessive amount of time, go very, very slowly. I want you to, when we roll up to Tadasana, take every opportunity to notice the vertebrae. Just notice each vertebrae of your spine as we take this journey all the way up. You might not, traditionally, in our flow, we just take one big breath, but if you can't take one breath to reach the top, that's fine. Just my main thing is to notice the journey here. Notice how you feel. Last thing to roll up is your head. Allow your palms to face forward, heart lifts. Head over heart, heart over pelvis. Breathe. Maybe gently close your eyes or soften the gaze, bringing your drishti, your point of focus, to the bridge of your nose. And just take a moment to notice how you feel at this present moment. Very good. All righty, my friends. We're going to inhale, swoop the arms all the way up. Nice big full body stretch here, pulling those thumbs back. And now listen closely. We're going to exhale, swim the hands behind you to interlace behind your back. Pulling our hands down and away. We're going to open the chest here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Maybe your palms might not touch here. If you want to square off in the palm, the way you hold it, that's fine. Everyone's in a different place. And if that's even too much for you, maybe grab a towel or a small or a washcloth or what have you and hold at it behind your back. Or if you don't have either of those things close by, just interlock your thumbs. Keeping your heart nice and lifted, breathe in and out. Breathe in, bend the knees slightly and keeping your hands interlaced, we're going to dive our heart forward, 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 and our hands up and away as we forward fold. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Now, avoiding the slingshot effect, which is with your hands completely rebound, gently release the hands and allow them to flow all the way back down to the mat. Beautiful. Inhale, halfway lift, your version, hands on the shins, thighs, or floor. And exhale, fold, plant the palms, bring back one foot and another as we meet in plank, and lower all the way down, knees, belly. Squeeze our elbows in together, look up, inhale, cobra. And exhale, forehead kisses the mat, press up to all fours. This time we're going to curl the toes under, claw into those fingertips and knuckles, and then peel our hips up towards the sky, downward facing dog. Give your dog a walk here, pedaling the feet one at a time. Stretching the hamstrings, waking up the legs. All right. Anchor down on the left heel, and we're going to slide our right foot all the way up towards the sky. Inhale, Exhale, draw that right knee in towards the nose, gaze forward, and plant your foot in between the palms. Now remember that imaginary line that I mentioned earlier. We're going into our high lunge. So front knee over front ankle. Squeeze that imaginary line, pressing firmly into all four corners of the feet. Inhale, swoop your hands forward, up and back. High lunge. We're cultivating strength here. This is a big motion. We're working our legs, our glutes. Press back into that back heel. And then exhale, paint a wall forward as we land our palms back into the mat. Now, use your palms to hold your positioning and walk your right foot off to the right to where the right toes spill off the mat. Now, place your left palm on the mat or block if that suits you. Reach your right hand up towards the sky for a twist. Breathe in and exhale. Take your right elbow and bring it all the way down to your mat or block. Lizard pose. If this is a bit too intense, you can bring your to lower your back knee and lay your foot down to where you're pressing into the top of the back foot. And if you don't have a block available and still want to get a good stretch, just stay on your hands here. Options are for everyone. Now you don't want your right knee to splay out. That is an option if you want to roll onto the outer edge of your right foot. But for now, let's focus on keeping that front knee closer to the body. Breathe here. All right, when you're ready, if you haven't already, bring yourself back onto your palms. Walk that right foot back to where it was, and then bring that foot back, lower to cobra, and we will meet again on all fours. And transition into downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. You're doing great. We're switching the blood flow here, bringing it to our palms. Bringing our head below our heart center. We spend such a high percentage of our lives with our head above the heart space. It's quite refreshing to have your head in the opposite position. This has a lot of benefits for blood flow, downward facing dog. All right, anchor down that right heel this time. Swim that left foot up towards the sky, three-legged dog. Inhale and exhale, draw the knee towards the nose. Look forward and plant the foot in between the palms. Get your positioning. Now focus into all four corners of that front foot. Squeeze into an imaginary line and swing your hands, not swing your hands, float your hands forward, up and back to high lunge. Maybe you find a little buoyancy, a little bounciness here. Just playing around a little bit, just noticing, playing with your how your feet are, making sure your back heel is reaching back. Try to deepen your lunge here, bending front knee to front ankle, squeezing into that midline, lifting from the pelvic floor, breathing deep. Inhale, look up. Exhale, paint a wall all the way down. Step your left foot to where the left toes spill off the mat. Place your right palm to center. Inhale, reach the left hand up high for a twist. Exhale, bring that left elbow this time all the way down to the mat or block. If that's too intense, you can stay on your hands. And option, of course, to lower the back knee. But you can also keep it lifted for a bit more. You will notice that maybe one side feels a lot different or even more difficult than the other, and that's okay. That's why we work on both sides, to notice these things and to even things out. Breathe, breathe, breathe. All right. Bring yourself up to your palms. Slide that back foot all the way back. We are in plank pose. Now lower to cobra or half push-up chaturanga to upward facing dog. And we will all meet again in down dog. This time from here, let's do some cross steps where we step one foot in front of the other, kind of cross it, crisscross it. We're going to do this all the way up to the top of the mat. Take your time. You can do this or ragdoll. However you wish, we will meet at the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, your version. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the hands way up high. Exhale, float your hands down to your heart. Take a moment to notice how you feel. The blood's probably pumping now. You're feeling more awake, more alive. Geared up for yoga 2024. Gorgeous. All right. We're going to do more wrist stretching here. Interlace the fingers, press the palms away from the body. Inhale, lift the palms up. And exhale, up and over. Kind of make a banana shape to the left. If you want a bit more stretch here, you can do a bit of a curtsy, sliding your right foot behind the left and getting a little bend at the knee. Pulling the right elbow back, heart remains lifted. Inhale, exhale back to center. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, up and over to the right this time. Maybe again, option to curtsy. Get a little more out of that stretch. Feel the lengthening of the left side body. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, avoid the rebound effect. Just slowly release the palms and fold forward. Inhale, on your next inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Plant the palms, bring back one foot and another. Lower to cobra or chaturanga to up dog. And we will meet again in downward dog. All righty. We got one more step up in the level here. So breathe, breathe, breathe. Inhale. We're going to anchor that left heel. Lift the right leg up high. Exhale, draw the right knee to left elbow. Inhale, lift that foot back up. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Use your breath. Inhale, lift it up high. You're doing great. Clawing into those fingertips. And exhale, knee to nose. Squeeze that foot towards the glute. And inhale, lift back up. And then exhale, draw the knee to nose, look forward, and plant the foot in between the palms. Lift your heart. Step that back toe up just a hair so you can pivot the foot out. We're preparing for warrior one. Make sure your footing is good. Now squeeze your legs into an imaginary line. Sweep your hands forward, up and back. Warrior one. Dun, 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 dun. I love this pose. It's such an empowering posture to get to be strong in your legs, lifting your heart, and bringing your hands up high. Encompass the warrior here. You can deepen the pose by bending further into the knee, but don't allow the front knee to go beyond the toes. Press into all four corners of that front foot. We're keeping our head over heart here, your heart over your pelvis. Inhale, reach the palms up just a little higher, hands parallel, and exhale, float the fingers all the way down. Unpivot that back foot so it's parallel. Plant the left palm, lift the right hand up high. And exhale, bring that right hand down. Step or hop that back foot to meet the front. We're going to inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll all the way up to mountain. And exhale, relax the shoulders. Take a few breaths here. Slow your heart rate for just a second. Take about 2 or 3 breaths. Now inhale, swoop your hands forward, up and back, and then sway your hands all the way behind your back. Interlace the fingers, opposite thumb on top this time, so the one that feels a little odd, and pull them down and away. Breathe here. Inhale. Exhale, bend at the knees, increase the hips forward and down. For a heart opener, use your heart to guide yourself down. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Release the hands, allow them to float down. We're going to inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the palms, bring back one foot and another. Lower to cobra or chaturanga to up dog. Now, option here, if you want to take a child's pose or do a cat and cow in between, you may. But we will all meet again in downward facing dog. We're going to drop our right heel this time. We're going to lift the left up high. Exhale, draw that left knee to right elbow. Inhale, lift it up high. Cultivating strength. Exhale, drawing our left knee to left elbow. Inhale, lift your leg up high. Exhale, chin to knee to chin. Inhale, lift it up high. As the last one. Now we just bring it through and draw your foot in between the palms and step up that back foot just a hair so we can pivot that toes out. Your right toes should be reaching or pointed up towards the front right corner of the mat. Squeeze your legs together into an imaginary line and swoop your hands forward, up and back. Glide them up, heart lifts, warrior one. Warrior one, ta-da. Virabhadrasana 1. Press firmly into the back pinky toe. Make sure you can widen your stance or narrow it depending on your needs. Breathe, smooth, deep breaths here. Keep your heart lifted, your core engaged, head over your heart, heart over your pelvis. Go through your checklists. And first and most important thing is to always breathe. Inhale in. Exhale, float the palms down, down, down. Bring back that front foot now. We'll lower to cobra or chaturanga to up dog. And this time we will meet in child's pose or extended child's pose. I'm going for the extended version, so bring your knees as wide as the mat, toes to touch, walk your hips back to your heels, and slowly walk your palms forward as your heart begins to melt towards the mat. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, allow your forehead to melt towards the mat here to give it a kiss. And take 3 to 5 deep breaths. You deserve it. Fill up the space in the shoulders here. Maybe you give your forehead a little massage. Feel the fascia of the back body. Stretch with your inhales here. Last one, inhale. And smooth exhale through the nose. Beautiful. use your torso to guide you back to all fours. All right. Curl the toes under now, my friends. We're going to peel the hips up to the sky. And this time we are going to walk our hands towards our feet. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, roll all the way up. We are meeting at the back of our mat now. About to prepare for our peak pose, which will be humble warrior today. Good way to start. Start from the center of your mat. Bring your feet a little wider than hip width apart, like so. And then point your right toes to the right this time and bring in the left toes just a hair. So from here, bring our hips, think of two headlights at your hips facing forward and bend into that front knee. From here, we're going to swing our hands or glide our hands forward, up and back for our warrior. Warrior one, and then exhale, float the fingertips behind us like we've been practicing and interlace the hands behind you, down and away. Lift up the heart center, use your core. Remember to keep bent in that front knee. Practice that little buoyancy. Breathe. Now, pay close attention. Squeeze into that imaginary line with your leg. Press into that pinky toe. And we're going to keep our palms down and away as we use our hearts to guide down to our thigh. Allow your belly to cascade over to the thigh, keeping the palms pressing away from the body. And breathe, breathe, breathe. Drishti can be forward. Drishti being your point of focus. Giving you a little vocabulary today. Keep your shoulders down and away. Inhale and exhale. Release the palms. And then swoop your hands forward, up and back into that warrior one. And then straighten that back toe. Straighten the back toe. Did you hear that? Straighten that front knee. As we go into triangle pose, drop that back hand and then take the right palm here, bring your right pinky behind your ear and stretch to bring nice long stretch from your right toes to your right fingertips. Nice long line. Pulling the right thumbs back. And then exhale, cock at the hips here. Cartwheel down nice and slowly. Reaching our left hand up for our extended side angle here. Side triangle angle. And then float that palm down. Bend at the front knee. Unpivot that back toe so they're parallel. Plant the left palm. And inhale, reach the right palm up high. And exhale, float it down. Step or hop that back foot to meet the front. Inhale, halfway lift your version. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll all the way up. And guide your hands up to the sky. Exhale, float the palms down to the heart center. And take a couple of breaths for you. Beautiful. Release the hands. Bring yourself back to the center of the mat, facing the long edge, and bring your feet back a little wider than hip width. This time we're going to the left side. So point your toes to the left this time. Bring your right toes slightly outward and bend into that front knee. Swing the arms forward, up and back, keeping your heart lifted, your pelvic floor engaged, core engaged. Breathe. We're going in for a humble warrior, the opposite side. Breathe in. Exhale, swim the arms behind you, opposite, thumb on top, interlace those fingers behind you. This will feel a little funky. Just notice the difference here. Again, if that's a little much, just interlace or interlock the thumbs. And keep your heart nice and open here. Head over heart, heart over pelvis. Inhale. Exhale, use your heart to guide you forward like you're about to peer into a lake of water. And you might notice that your palms might go further up or not so far as the other side, and that's okay. Just notice and observe without judgment. Your belly's cascaded over the left leg. Squeeze those legs into an imaginary line. Continue breathing. Working all the muscles in the body here. Just take stock of where you are. Inhale and release the palms. Guide them down to the mat. And inhale, swing your hands forward, up and back once again to warrior one. You feel that in your left leg. I know you do. So we're going to drop our right hand down to the right thigh and bring your left leg to straighten and bring your left pinky behind the left ear and up and beyond for our triangle to have a nice long stretch from left toe to left fingertips. Pulling the left thumbs back. Maybe your right hand rests on the right thigh, or you wrap it around to the small of your back. Breathe. Now we cock at the hips and we cartwheel down, down, down. You can use your block here on the right side of your left foot, keeping your right hand up high. Beautiful. Inhale in. Exhale, place the right palm down. Pivot that back foot back to parallel. Plant the right palm onto the block or floor. And inhale, lift the left hand up high for a twist. And exhale, bring it down. Gorgeous. From here, we're going to look forward and then step or hop that back foot to meet the front for our last forward fold. Regular forward fold, spoilers of our practice. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the hands way up high. And exhale, hands to heart. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Take a moment to notice how you feel. Just take stock of what you accomplished already today. You got some good stretching. You got your body moving, your heart pumping. Utilize the breath. You observe the journey and not so much focused on hitting the pose as you were to observing the body, how it's different from one side to another. There's so much in just such a small amount of time. Just notice how you feel for just a moment more. And when you're ready, on your next breath, release the hands. We'll go back to center. Bring our feet wider than the hip width, as mentioned a couple times prior. We're going to inhale, reach our hands up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Grab your block if it's near you. Just simply allow your hands to fall at the mat or block before you. Breathe into the hips here. Shake your head a little yes, a little no. Now use your palms to guide your torso to the left. Your toes are a little slightly splayed out. They don't have to be parallel here. Find a stretch in the left hamstring. Breathe in and out. Beautiful. Now guide your torso using your hands to the right this time. Breathe in and out. Bring your hands back to center. Heel toe your feet together just a bit. From here, go onto your toe, bring yourself up to the ball joint at the top of your feet and guide your hips down into a frog pose. You can utilize your block here. You can put it underneath your hips, like so. Maybe in a lot less clunky of a way than I just demonstrated. or you can use that in front of your hands. And you can stay off your heels here. A more traditional frog would have you on your heels and your feet a little wider, but we're not doing that today. We're just playing with frog pose. You can move one leg from side to side. Just find what feels good here. I know you've heard that with a certain YouTuber. If you watched Yoga with Adrian. And when you're done, we're going to bring our hands behind us and guide ourselves to our seats. We get to sit. How lovely. From here, we're just sitting in a nice, comfortable cross-legged seat. We're going to go inhale, bring our hands up to the sky, and exhale, fold forward, keeping our glutes nice and glued down. This kind of gives you the effect of if you were doing a pigeon pose, the way the legs stretch. That's why I like this, because we also hold a lot of stress in our legs. Inhale, look up and guide your hands to the left. And exhale, chin to chest. If your hips begin to come off the mat, step back or move back just a hair. No need to fit perfectly into the asana. Now walk your hands with your next inhale over to the right. And exhale, chin to chest. And next inhale, walk yourself back to center and guide your torso back up. Now cross your legs opposite foot in front this time. We're going to do it again. Inhale, swim our hands up. Exhale, allow them to gently fall forward in front of you and walk forward. Hips remain glued to the mat. Breathe in and out. Inhale, we're going to look forward and guide ourselves to the left again. And exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, look forward, walk yourself to the right this time. And exhale, forward fold. Breathe into the lower back here. Now on your next inhale, look forward. Bring yourself back to center and walk yourself back up. Swing your legs over to one side and we will guide ourselves all the way down to the mat. Today I'm going to take hold of my thighs and roll back. Nice and easy. Allow your feet to fall. Toes pointing away from the body. Hands at your sides. Snuggle in the shoulder blades underneath the heart space here. And when we do our bridge poses today, I want you to think more about feeling the vertebrae of the spine here, and just notice the wave that we create when we breathe in and lift up to our bridge. We're not trying to create a high bridge here. We're just wanting to experience the sensations that come with this flow. So press into the palms. We're going to tuck our tailbone in and up and use that motion to guide our hips up and slowly roll it up. Inhale. Roll it up. Feel the little massage of the spine here, nice and slow. And then exhale, roll it down nice and slow. Feel the massage of the spine. Should feel really nice. And release as you exhale. Inhale, tuck that tailbone in and up and lift. Feel the vertebrae of the spine with each motion upward. And slowly roll it down. Exhale. Last one, we're going to inhale, roll it up. Doing great. Nice and slowly. And slowly lower down. Awesome. From here, take your knees and bring them to the chest. We're going to do some supine twists. We're going to extend our hands to either side. And we're going to allow our legs to gently fall to the left to start, keeping your heart open. Try to keep your right shoulder glued to the mat here. Maybe bring your gaze to the right. Breathe here. Soften the skin on the forehead and the jaw. Give yourself permission to just be for a moment. All right, bring your gaze back to center. Bring your knee in towards the chest. Use your core to move your torso. Open the arms back wide for traction, and then guide your legs down nice and easy to the right. Maybe bring your drishti, your gaze, to the left. Breathe deep here. All right. Use your core, draw it down and in the navel, and then allow your feet to rest on the mat. Now, we have an opportunity for a little yoga freestyle. I'll present you a couple of options. This is where you can kind of get any of your wiggles or motions out that you need to complete your practice, to get the most out of your practice today. For me, I'm going to simply go into my favorite posture, bringing my knees to open wide, bringing our feet up towards our pelvic bone. You can either grab onto your big toes or the outer edge or the inner edge of the arches of the feet. Kick up one at a time for happy baby. You could do in this stead, if this isn't for you today, you could do pigeon legs, where you make a figure 4 with your legs and grab one of the thighs and pull for a nice leg stretch. You could you can sit back up and do some do some staff twists if you wish. You can even do, if you want, you can do a plow pose if you want some sort of inversion for your day. What have you? There's so many more options out there. Alrighty. When you're ready, only when you're ready, allow your legs to gently fall and spill out to the outside of your mat. Allow your palms to rest at your sides, palms facing the sky. Maybe you can snuggle your shoulder blades in and under the heart center. And observe some time for stillness, opportunity to either close your eyes or soften your gaze. And observe the breath, observe the body, and if anything, just taking time to just be. I'll leave with that for just a few moments and I can conclude the class from there. So take this time for you in observance of the day's practice. Okay, my friends, begin to bring your awareness back into the space. Allow your fingers and toes to begin a stir. Maybe you find a gentle sway of the head one side and another. Go ahead and bend the knees here, feet flat on the mat. And at your pace, roll over to one side that suits you best. Maybe you take a moment to use your arm as a pillow to prepare for moving up to your seat. When you're ready, only when you're ready, press up and we will meet in a comfortable seat. We conclude our yoga class in gratitude. We bring our palms to our hearts and we thank ourselves for showing up and taking the time to practice and just show gratitude and observance of the light that we see in others and from the light that is within ourselves. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. We bow and say the sacred yoga term, Namaste. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you have a very wonderful new year. And if you want to see anything new with our yoga programs, make sure you comment below or send me a message. I would love to hear from you. And I will see you guys again next Saturday morning at 11 a.m. I love you guys. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you again soon.